You don't wake up tired by accident. You don't wake up heavy, anxious, or strangely hollow for no clear reason. And you're not imagining that something feels off about your sleep lately. I'm talking to you, the one who sleeps, but never truly rests, the one who dreams, but wakes feeling drained instead of renewed, the one who senses that night is no longer a place of peace, but a place where something is quietly pulling at you. We're taught that sleep is passive, that it's just the body shutting down, but every ancient tradition, every serious philosopher, and every deep psychological framework disagrees. Sleep is not an escape from reality. It is an entrance into a deeper one, and sometimes we enter places we were never meant to stay. There is a strange pattern many people experience, yet rarely talk about. You fall asleep exhausted, your dreams feel heavy, distorted, fragmented. You wake up with emotions that don't feel like they belong to you, fear without cause, guilt without memory, sadness without story. You might even feel less alive in the morning than you did the night before. Modern culture shrugs this off as stress or bad sleep hygiene, but that explanation feels thin when the experience is so consistent, so symbolic, so personal. Because what if sleep isn't neutral? What if consciousness doesn't shut off but moves? Ancient thinkers believed reality had layers, not fantasy realms, but psychological, existential, and symbolic dimensions. Plato warned that most people live in shadows, mistaking appearances for truth. Nietzsche warned that unexamined instincts rule us more than logic ever will. Jung later observed that when the unconscious is ignored, it doesn't disappear, it becomes fate. Now ask yourself this uncomfortable question. If your waking life is filled with suppression, distraction, avoidance, and unexpressed emotion, where do you think all of that goes when you fall asleep? It doesn't vanish, it descends. There is a reason some nights feel heavier than others. Your mind is not just replaying memories, it is reorganizing meaning. Your psyche is not resting, it is processing unresolved material, and when that material is saturated with fear, resentment, self-betrayal, or chronic avoidance, your inner world begins to take on a darker gravity, not because something external is attacking you, but because something internal is pulling you downward. This is where the idea of negative dimensions becomes psychological, not supernatural. A negative dimension is not a place, it is a state of being. Here is the first uncomfortable truth. Sleep reveals the hierarchy of your values. If you spend your days disconnected from yourself, numbing, scrolling, performing, suppressing, your nights become the only time your deeper self is allowed to speak. And it doesn't speak gently. It speaks in symbols, in dread, in distorted dreams that leave you feeling smaller, weaker, less anchored in reality. This is not punishment. It is compensation. The second truth is even harder. You are not pulled into darker inner states because you are weak. You are pulled because something in you is being ignored. Bonhoeffer wrote that the greatest moral danger is not cruelty, but thoughtlessness, the quiet surrender of responsibility for one's inner life. When you stop consciously choosing meaning during the day, your unconscious chooses it for you at night, and it often chooses based on fear. Notice the pattern: repetitive dreams with no resolution, waking with anxiety that fades slowly, feeling watched, chased, trapped, or late a sense that your energy is leaking while you sleep. Emotional residue that follows you into the day. These are not random, they are signals. Signals that your psyche is stuck cycling through a lower loop one, built on avoidance, self-denial, and suppressed truth. Here's the twist: most people never consider negative inner states are sticky. The longer you ignore them, the more gravity they gain. The more gravity they gain, the harder it becomes to wake up fully, even while awake. This is how people slowly lose vitality, not through trauma alone, but through quiet, repeated self-abandonment. You don't collapse overnight. You drift, but here's where power returns to you. Because the same principle works in reverse, sleep is not only where descent happens, it is where integration happens. If you live correctly while awake, Nietzsche believed that becoming whole requires descending into yourself consciously, not being dragged there unconsciously. The difference is choice. When you face your fears during the day, they don't ambush you at night. When you speak truth you've been swallowing, they stop screaming in your dreams. When you live with intention, your inner world reorganizes. Upward light does not enter the psyche through optimism. It enters through responsibility. Ask yourself tonight, before you sleep, what did I avoid today? What did I silence? What part of myself did I betray to stay comfortable? You don't need answers. You need honesty, because sleep listens. Your unconscious listens, and it responds accordingly. The deepest truth is this: you are not being pulled into darker inner worlds because something is wrong with you. You are being pulled because something within you is asking to be seen. And the moment you turn toward it consciously, courageously, the pull weakens, sleep becomes lighter, dreams become clearer, and you wake up not drained, but aligned, because when you live with awareness, there is nowhere dark left to fall.